Richie Rollins with Comic Experience Sci-Fi, and I'm standing here with...
Hi, I'm Rachel, or Ahhchew Cosplay, or today, Alistair, the radio demon.
Ooh, how come you picked that outfit today?
The new show came out, Has Been Hotel, and I just fell in love with the character. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be him.
How long have you been doing this for?
I've been cosplaying since 2014. As a kid, I made costumes for my horse at the local fair, and then I realized that Comic-Cons were a thing, and I fell in love with it.
Ahhchew Cosplay? Is that a play off of Robin Hood and Men in Tights?
It is, in fact. That is one of my favorite movies.
This person's all right with me. Since you're Robin Hood Men in Tights, are we ever going to see you in tights?
Well, I'm in tights and other costumes, but eventually I thought about there's a couple of fun cosplays I could probably do from that one.
This is Richie Rollins from Comic Experience Sci-Fi.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and I am at the really cool Comic-Con here in Flint, Michigan, and I am here with Mallorie Rodak. Mallorie is a voice actor for some really cool shows. How did you get into voice acting, Mallorie?
You know, I started with theater and singing. So, back in grade school, high school, college, did a ton of theater and singing, operas, musical theaters, things like that. And then after I graduated, I wanted to find a way to kind of move into voiceover. So took lessons, got an agent, recorded a demo, and the rest is history. It's actually my 10-year anniversary of voicing in anime.
You have a lot of really good characters. If you could reprise one, I'm not asking you to pick a favorite, but maybe one that you would like to act again, which one might it be?
There's no question, it's Frieren. Frieren Beyond Journey's End is such an incredible anime. If you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to go out there and watch it. But beautiful Lord of the Rings style fantasy anime. And I just finished recording it last year, so it hasn't been very long, but I am already ready for season 2. I'm crossing my fingers it happens soon because I really miss voicing her. She's fantastic.
What do you like most about Comic-Cons?
Honestly, it's an interesting process being a voice actress because you go into this kind of windowless booth. You have like one person, maybe two people out there, your director, your engineer. You do the lines and you go home and you wonder, like, does this have an impact on people's lives? And then you come out to events like this and you get to see that, yes, it does impact people's lives. It makes them happy, it makes them feel good, all sorts of positive emotions. So I love seeing that my work can impact people, and I think that's really special.
So what are you working on now? What's coming out next? What should we be looking for?
Super awesome news. I've been working on Fairy Tail. I thought Fairy Tail was over, and it had ended, and now Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest is back. I'm back voicing Yukino, who's in Fairy Tail. She's part of Team Sabretooth, so I am so excited. I never thought I'd be able to voice her again, and she's back, so very excited for that. Also, that time I got reincarnated as a slime is back. I'm the Great Sage / Raphael in that show, so definitely watch those two. They're fantastic animes.
I need more time watching TV, I think. Thank you so much for taking the time. The fact that you clearly love your work makes me happy. That means you're putting a level of enthusiasm into the work, and like you said, all of these people are so happy that you're here. It's taken me about 4.5 hours to be able to find you free, so I know that that's true. I know it's true.
Well, thank you for all your nice words and for everything you do for the community. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Mallorie. This has been the Bradcast at the really cool Comic-Con in Flint, Michigan.
It's Richie Rollins from Comic Experience Sci-Fi, and I'm standing here with...
Paigesicle Cosplay.
Now, what are you dressed as today?
I am Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate 3. Literally, everybody I know tells me that I look like Shadowheart. I'm not wearing a wig right now. This is my real hair. It's like, I knew I had to cosplay her.
It's the real ears, too, folks. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, real ears.
Do you make your own armor?
I do, yeah. Everything is 3D printed. It took about 8 months to make. I've been cosplaying since 2017, and I've cosplayed everything from comic books to video games to anime characters. I love it all.
Why'd you get started in cosplay?
Okay, so I went to art school, actually, and it kind of just made sense to translate my skills into my passion for nerddom.
This is Richie Rollins from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. Keep watching.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and I am at the really cool Comic-Con, and I am here with John Gremillion. You do some very interesting work. I'm familiar with Black Butler, even the chef, the Food Wars, and of course One Piece. How did you get started in voiceover work?
Well, about 25 years ago, I auditioned for a company called ADV Films, which is now Sentai in Houston, because as you know, 60% of the American dubs of anime happens in Texas. Texas, between Houston and Fort Worth. Texas is a right-to-work state, so we get a fee, and that's it. And then we make our money at conventions and meet our fans and things like that. Okay. So I auditioned about 25 years ago in the late 90s, and the rest is history.
Do you have a role that, I'm not going to ask you to pick your favorite.
No, this is my favorite right here.
Oh, okay.
From My Hero Academia. Gentle Criminal is my favorite role. The writing in the show of My Hero is very three-dimensional. All the characters have their day in court. Everybody's got a backstory. They really care about the writing. He's very three-dimensional. He's got comic relief, serious backstory. It's all-encompassing. It's great. Love it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I think you kind of answered my next question is, how do you like Comic-Cons? What do you like best about them?
I love the fact that Comic-Cons exist because it provides so many opportunities for people who are fans of anime to have it's their socialization, it's how they can meet their idols who work in the industry. Yeah. It's how they can all come together and celebrate anime together. Because anime didn't used to be as mainstream as it is now.
Absolutely.
It used to be the little nerd in the corner, but you don't get thrown in your locker anymore for liking anime. You know what I'm saying? It's the good thing now. It's mainstream. I love it.
So is there anything new coming down the pike that you'd like to let us know about?
We just finished recording Suicide Squad Isekai, which is on HBO Max and Hulu right now. They're both. So I play a gentleman named Cecil, who is a servant to the Queen and protector of the princess. And he's got very bright pink hair and a British accent. Love him. That's the newest thing I've got going on right now. And of course, One Piece is continuing forever.
I was absolutely blown away when I was trying to see how far I had to go to finish, and it's like over 1,100 episodes. So you know that the story, like you say, is going to go on forever.
Yeah.
Is there a role that, if it was offered to you, you'd really like to do?
Oh gosh, I can't even think about that. I mean, I almost never auditioned for roles. I auditioned for some of the roles that we have, and some of them the directors know me well enough that they just cast me because they know that I can do a good job at it because they've worked with me before. And they think, well, that's a pretty good role for John. So I don't have any roles in particular that I'd like to. I just take it as it comes.
All right. Well, that's a good way to do it. Hopefully, we will enjoy your HBO Suicide Squad experience. And thank you for your time, sir. Much appreciated. We'll see you at the next one.
You're very welcome.
This is Richie Rollins from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, and I'm standing here with Exuberant Cosplay. Your parents named you, huh?
No, I'll go for Jarvis Bird. That's my actual name.
And what are you dressed as today?
I'm dressed as a banished Spartan from Halo Infinite, or the Halo franchise.
Why this character?
This character is supposed to be a rogue Spartan from the Halo series between Halo Wars 2 and Halo Infinite. I made this album, it took me about like a month, to be like 800 hours.
What got you into cosplaying?
One of my friends invited me to a convention center. I'm not really into like some geekiness behind anime until I see people making like armors and all that type of stuff. And then making my first armor is what kept me going. This is my 5th armor I've ever made, so I really want to do some giant costumes. Pretty afraid of heights, so I don't think it's going to be possible for me.
it's the Bradcast, and I'm at the really cool Comic-Con in Flint, Michigan, and I am here with Mac. You look great, Mac. Tell me all about it.
All right, so I'm dressed up as Undyne from Undertale. This is one of my first times making foam armor.
How long did it take you?
I mean, I started last year, and it was mostly just painting and drawing, but it was on and off working on it. I've probably repainted most of it like twice.
Changed your mind in which direction, how you wanted it to look?
I changed my mind that, and sometimes I didn't realize this. If you leave it in a really hot area, the paint sticks together.
You've constructed all of this, the spear and the helmet and the armor, and it looks like even the gauntlets.
This weekend will be the only weekend that I've ever actually made the entirety of all my costumes.
Hey, this is Mark at the Really Cool Con up in Flint. I'm here with Brian Martindale of Greensnips Comics. Hey, tell me, how is the show going for you today?
Oh, it's doing great. Real busy. Haven't stopped.
What are people looking for at this show?
Deadpool, Wolverine, X-Men, horror comics. Then they're asking for things I don't have, like Sailor Moon and some of the manga items. I'm more of a superhero guy.
Do you normally do this show? What other shows do you do?
I do the Great Lake Comic-Cons, and I do the Clawson shows, and this one I do every year, and sometimes Livonia as well.
Tell us, what are some of the cool books you got on the wall over there?
Oh, on the wall we have some Wolverines up on the top, a couple number ones, a variety of Deadpool books, X-Men books, different keys, First Gambit.
Brian, how and when did you get started dealing comics?
Dealing, I bought a collection many years ago from a flea market. It was like 7,000 comic books. And I remember setting up at that show, just kind of blowing things out. And then I took that money and invested into better books. And then just along with just the books I bought off the rack over the years. So I think it's been probably about 45 years that I've been collecting and reading comic books.
What were some of your favorite comic books when you started collecting?
We started Web of Spider-Man, Daredevil, Frank Miller's run on Daredevil, Chris Claremont's run on Uncanny X-Men. Those definitely were my favorites.
Where can people find you? Are you on social media? Do you sell online?
I do a little bit of selling online. I have eBay, and that's about it. Most of my selling is done at the shows.
Sort of like the best place, because that's where you're going to see your people.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, we don't want to take up too much of your time, Brian. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and this is Mark at the Really Cool Con.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and I am at the Really Cool Comic-Con, and you'll never guess who I ran into. Tell me about your cosplay.
This is a cosplay based on Voltron Defender of the Universe from 1984. It is made of EVA foam, and I have the swords that light up. These are actually 3D printed, and it took about 6 months to construct. Amy's here, my wife, for Allura. Hers took about 2 months to construct. It's also made of EVA foam.
I love this. I love being Princess Allura. She's my hero.
And then yes, all the string is done by hand, and then the top has actually foam rivets.
How long have you been doing cosplay?
I've been cosplaying since 2019.
The family that cosplays together stays together. This has been the Bradcast at the Really Cool Comic-Con.
This is Richie Rollins from Comic Experience Sci-Fi, and what are you dressed as today?
I am dressed as President Mike from My Hero Academia. I just wanted to take the character design and kind of make it a little bit more punky and add a little bit of personal flair to it.
How long does it take to make this costume?
I have no idea.
And how'd you get started in cosplay?
Oh man, I think the first Comic-Con I've ever went to was Cherry Capital when it was just a baby con, and I had, you gotta dress up in something, so I just had a little sweatshirt and started off that way, and then you get bigger as you grow older, but until inspiration strikes, when it happens, it's all I can focus on for the entire year. It's a lot of fun.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and I'm at the Really Cool Comic-Con in Flint, and I'm here with John Swasey, voice actor. How long have you been doing this? How'd you get into voice acting?
Well, I've been an actor for 28 years. No, excuse me. Been an actor for about 38 years. And in 1997, I live in Houston, and somebody said, hey, you ought to do anime. And I was like, all right, what's that? And I started working for a company in Houston called ADV Films in 1997, and then started going up to Dallas to work at a company called Funimation. And, just really didn't know much about it. It was just another acting job, and we just kind of kept doing it and started getting more prolific and more, bigger roles and more shows. And, now here we are. It's like, what the heck happened? I mean, it's crazy that it's become what it is today, But it's what I do full time. I'm a full time director at ADV, then became Sentai Filmworks, and I direct there full time, and I act at Funimation, which is now Crunchyroll, and do that. So between Houston and Dallas, that keeps me really busy. So
you're on both sides of the curtain, so to speak.
Glass. We call it the glass.
Ah, the glass. There you go. Much more elegant.
Wouldn't be quite as effective,
That's true. That's true. So, are you doing more one than the other? And which do you like better?
I direct every day, so I'm doing a lot directing. They're very different. I wouldn't say I like one over the other. They're very different animals, and I just like being part of the whole creative process, and just getting to act in a show is great, and getting to direct a show is great. So and working together with other actors or other directors, it's a fun process. So I like it all the same, pretty much.
If you could reprise a role that you have done in the past, what would it be?
I'd like to do all of them at one big party. That's what I would like to do. But if I had to pick one, I'd love to see Lord Death come back from Soul Eater. It's a great show. It's very iconic. That show is what I refer to as like a gateway anime. It's a good anime. It's a good story, good animation, good acting. But I mean, it's just a fun show, and it's not full of fan service. It's not a hentai or an ecchi or a yuri or any of these types of genres. It's just straight up, just a good show. And he's one of my favorite characters, and he gets a lot of love, and I'd love to see him come back.
So what do you like most about Comic-Cons?
Meeting the fans is probably one of my favorite things here. It's a chance to say hello and say thank you for all the love they've given me and support. And, it's you meet all kinds of people, and they will come up and tell you everything from they love your show, they love what you do, you've helped change my life, you saved my life. And then you get people going, who are you? So, it really, it's just nice. I mean, I love comic shows. I love anime shows. It's a place where these people can really be themselves. There's a lot of hate in the world. And I've always said that at an anime show or at a convention like this, everyone's here to lift each other and support each other, and the world could learn a lesson on how to get along coming to an anime show. So I think the best. I think it's great.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, my wife's a librarian, so I'm going to ask you the book-related question.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely. Have you ever done audiobooks where you had to do all the different voices in succession during the reading?
I have done one audiobook. I don't really do... I've done one. I mean, I don't gravitate to that kind of work because it's very, very arduous, and it takes a lot of time. I mean, I would do it, but I just don't pursue it.
Okay. It just came into my head.
Yeah, I mean, that's, it's a tough thing. I've done a lot of long form stuff, a lot of e-learning, and I mean, it's exhausting, and it's the people that do it, my hat's off to them for being able to keep the voices straight and all that. But, for me, maybe it's just my short attention span theater. I like to do a little bit and then be done with it, so.
Anything you have planned coming down the pike that people should be looking for?
Well, I've got, working on a lot of anime, and I do a lot of directing and stuff. I just got a lot of different shows coming out. I've also got some stuff that I'm working on personally. We're trying to put together a podcast called Bottom of the Barrel. It's me and Jay Hickman and Kyle Jones. They're two other. Jay's an actor and Kyle's an actor and a director that I work with. And Bottom of the Barrel is sort of it's the three of us talking about just topics like the weather. You know, where did weather come? Not where did it come from, but what kind of weather storms are there? But it's all tongue in cheek.
Meteorological conversation.
Yes, but then there's also we did like idioms. You know, where do idioms come from and that kind of stuff. But it's all very comedic. Okay. Because we're drinking whiskey the entire time. So.
Huzzah, hooray. Well, comics, beer, and sci-fi, I can totally relate.
And then we've got another show we're trying to get launched called Zeke and Zerlon. It's an animation show that, anyway, yeah, a lot of stuff coming, but, you know, we'll see.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. We much appreciate it. I was going to ask you about any way for people to, if they want to find you online, do you have any tags?
Go to my Instagram or Facebook. That's the best way to find me. John Swasey, just look me up. I mean, it's easy. And, just friend me and I'll friend you back.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. You have a great show.
Appreciate it.
This has been the Bradcast. It's really cool Comic-Con in Flint, Michigan.
This is Richie Rollins of Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, and I'm standing here with Kyle. And what are you dressed as today?
The Forsaken from World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, you can have like a combination of different outfit pieces to make yourself look different. I'm kind of going like transmog, kind of like making yourself dappier, you know.
Like you're going out to the club?
Yeah, basically.
What possessed you to come up with this idea?
Cosplaying the same thing for a couple of years. This one is a lot of layers of a bunch of different things. It's got a lot of custom parts added to it to kind of give it a little bit more life, make it a little bit more unique. I got more that I'm planning on doing, but this is kind of like the one I'm like sticking to for a little bit.
How long did it take you to make this outfit?
So getting all the different parts takes a while. The mask, you think it's like a normal Halloween mask, actually has like a bunch of customization to it.
This is Richie Rollins from Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. Keep watching.
Who was
what? Hello. Oh, hello. Hello.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and I am at the really cool Comic-Con, and I am here with our Bruce Elliot, voice actor extraordinaire. Yes, he's looking for him. Where is he? Where is he?
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. I had some lunch, so I'm always in a much better mood after eating. And
lunch is coming.
There you go. Yeah. Good news. You have a long and exalted career. Why don't you tell me did you get started as a voice actor?
Well, I got started as a voice actor basically because I've been an actor all my life, and mostly have done stage. Probably 30, 35 years worth of stage. I've had a couple of different agents in Dallas, which is where I'm from. And in December 2003, my agent sent me on an audition to this place called Funimation, which I didn't know very much about, knew a little bit about. But I auditioned for a show. At the time, it was called Detective Conan. It wound up being called Case Closed. And I got cast, and that was my first show at Funimation, now a little over 20 years ago. And here I'm still doing this after 20 years and coming up on, must be close to about 300 characters now and probably about 270 shows because I've done some multiple characters on a few shows. Not my fault. My agent sent me on an audition. I apparently was good enough. And apparently I'm still good enough because they're still using me. So
there you go.
I love it.
So,
Great job.
Mr. Gremillion told me that Dallas, Houston is the mecca for voice acting.
I guess so. Maybe so. Funimation was certainly a major player in the anime English dubbing game. It's now, of course, it's Crunchyroll, not Funimation anymore. But there's still, but a lot of us, I got this job because I live in Dallas, and my agent sent me on an audition. You know, if I lived in Flint, it would have been a lot harder to start a 20-year career as a voice actor.
Maybe a reason to move to Texas.
I was already there, so.
If you lived in Flint.
It was not an issue, yeah. It's a tough business to get into, and I think it's even tougher now. because anime has exploded in the 20 years I've been doing this. It's just, I mean, it was a pretty big deal 20 years ago, but now it's just like, it's insane.
Do you? I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you if you could reprise one of these roles, which would you like most to do?
Well, I am reprising Makarov in Fairy Tale right now.
I love that show.
Because the 100 Years Quest has just started. If you don't know that at home, now you do. So if you're a Fairy Tale fan, I am Master Makarov, the voice of Master Makarov, the Fairy Tale Guild Master. And the 100 Years Quest, which is the follow-up to Fairy Tale, has just started.
That's fantastic.
I heard my voice on my TV the other day. It was great. I haven't done that in a long time. So, but gosh, I don't know. I'd love to do some more Whitebeard. He's come back in flashbacks occasionally in One Piece.
Right, I've seen
it. But I don't know. I would love to go back to my very first show, Case Closed. Because I was one of the leads in that show, which I haven't done since then. I've had a lot of good supporting roles, but I was an actual lead in Case Closed. If you haven't seen Case Closed, it's pretty good.
What do you like most about coming to cons?
Oh, I like going to cons. It gets me out of the house.
There you go.
You know, my beloved Victoria and I have now traveled the country these days, especially since my Funko Pops came out. I have a Funko Pop of Whitebeard character in One Piece and my Ginyu character in Dragon Ball Z. That seems to make me a lot more attractive to conventions these days, which is great. I mean, I've been going to conventions for years, but the last couple of years it's been kind of steady, which has been wonderful. We've been to Colorado, we've been to California a few times, we've been to the Orlando area a few times, we were just up in New York. We kind of go all over the place, and we're having a great time.
Do you fly or drive in your travel scene?
We drive to stuff that's within driving distance. And we call driving distance maybe 5 or 6 hours tops.
Okay.
So we definitely flew here from Dallas.
Okay.
But occasionally we'll get some cons in Oklahoma or some in Texas. You know, so even in Texas, sometimes you have to fly.
What's next? What's coming? Oh, besides, well, you already told me.
The 100 Years Quest is happening right now. I just did a little work on a show called By My Earth. I think that's going to be coming out pretty quickly if it hasn't come out already. In fact, I think it is out already.
Okay.
I've just been in the first or second episode. And I'm doing some more on it in a couple of days when I get back home.
How long does it take to speak those parts usually for an episode?
Depends. Well, it depends on how long the part is in that episode. It depends. This character I'm playing is an evil character who is inside a good character, and they speak. Sometimes they speak at different times, and sometimes they speak in unison. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. I think I did maybe half an hour on the first or second episode the other day. I think I have an hour's session scheduled for Tuesday or Wednesday, which will probably be more lines. But I won't know till I get there. I don't see the script until I get in the booth.
Really?
Oh yeah, they don't give us the script ahead of time. So yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're having fun.
We're having a great time. The royal we and also my beloved Victoria. Did you get a shot of my beloved Victoria?
William Beer, yes, waving. Hi, Victoria.
Victoria is my beloved ex-wife and the best ex-wife a boy ever had. It's all true. Actually, we really are divorced. We really were married, but we are so much happier now. We just took a little 19-year break from our marriage. See, you didn't want to know any of that at all.
Somebody wants to know.
Somebody wants
and
to know.
you're saying it with a smile on your face, so
we are very, very happy. Yeah, we're much better than when we were married. So,
a lot less stress.
So that's all you have to do. If you're married and not doing so well, go ahead and get divorced, wait 19 years, get back together again, and it'll be fabulous.
But who will cook for my wife?
But who's counting? Yes. I ate a lot of frozen dinners.
Indeed. Mr. Elliot.
Sir.
It's been a pleasure.
Right back at you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right, we'll see ya. This has been the Brandcast with our Bruce Elliott at the really cool Comic-Con in, don't you know, Flint, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Richie Rollins, Comics Beer and Sci-Fi, and I'm sitting here with the Jason Voorhies. And Jason, how'd you come up with this costume?
Well, I decided I was watching one of the Friday the 13th films, and I was like, it would be cool to come up with the Jason Goes to Hell costume.
Nice, and I understand you made it yourself. How'd you get the holes and all that stuff in it?
Ended up with a regular blue shirt, spray painted it, cut holes into it, just made it as dirty as possible.
And do you have a future cosplay you want to do?
I don't know. I want to start off by winning a contest first, see how I fit in with other people.
All right, good luck to you. This is Richie Rollins, Comics Beer and Sci-Fi. Keep watching.